Nessie and the Noisy Invaders. Nessie is my best friend, and she lives in Loch Ness. You may have heard about her, but not many people have seen her. That's because she can only be seen by children, me, and all of her friends. That includes you. This story all started when two strange vessels appeared on Loch Ness. Who were they, and what were they doing there? Nessie swam closer to get a better look. There was a big, noisy boat called Sandnox, puffing out thick black smoke. Next to it was a little yellow submarine called Tuffy. Nessie didn't like what she saw. The air smelled awful, and all the animals in the loch were complaining about the noise. Something had to be done. That same day, my friend CB went to the local shop to get supplies for our next trip. While he was there, he saw a newspaper headline that made his eyes go wide. MAD scientist to find Nessie. Cyril Science, a scientist who loved solving mysteries, was in town. He was boasting loudly about how he was going to be the first to find Nessie. But Nessie could only be seen by children and her friends. CB knew we had to warn her. Meanwhile, Cyril was getting ready to uncover the Loch Ness mystery. His research ships, Sandnox and Tuffy, were already searching for clues. That evening, after a long day of work, I was heading back to Open Harbor when CB told me the news. Nessie had to be warned, and we had to do something about the two noisy ships. I watched as my friend Hamish rode away to his cottage for a well-earned rest. He had no idea of the adventure ahead. We had to warn Nessie and stop those noisy machines. But how? When I told Nessie about Cyril and the ships, she looked sad. She had stayed hidden for so many years. And now someone was trying to find her. But I had a plan, and I knew everything would be okay if we could just make it work. The next morning, we set sail for Loch Ness. Nessie had a secret tunnel that helped her stay hidden. As I was with her, we couldn't use the tunnel, and we had to go through Neptune's staircase at Fort William. How would we ever get past them? Just then, a little bucket floated by. That gave me an idea. Nessie could wear the bucket on her head as a disguise. "Bravo, Tuffy!" she cheered. As we made our way through the locks, a little girl from far away spotted something strange. "Look, Mummy! There's a monster with a little boat," she gasped. Luckily, Nessie's bucket disguise was in place just in time. Her mother just laughed. "Now, Freya, you know monsters don't exist." When we reached Loch Ness, we could see Sandnox and Tuffy near Urquhart Castle. They were making an awful racket, trawling the loch with their nets. The smoke and smell were horrible, just like Captain Hamish's old socks. We had to put our plan into action. Tuffy, the little submarine, started searching underwater. He was determined to find Nessie. His dials beeped wildly as he spotted a dark tunnel. He thought he had discovered her secret hiding place. Just as Tuffy got closer, Nessie let out a big roar. Tuffy was so frightened he nearly cracked his lid. "I've had enough," Tuffy yelled. "It's too dark and scary down here. I'm off." With Tuffy scared away, we only had Cyril and Sandnox left to deal with. That would be a little trickier. Sandnox rumbled in his deep voice. "Who do you think you are? You're just a little puffer boat." How wrong he was. I puffed my funnel loudly for a second time. Puff, puff. This got Cyril's attention. What was that? Cyril wondered. Nessie surfaced beside me, and together, we let out a mighty puff. Puff, roar. This time, Cyril took one look at Nessie's enormous shape rising from the water and turned pale. "A monster!" he shrieked. Sandnox and Cyril didn't stick around to find out more. With one final clunk, crash, bang, Sandnox turned around and puffed away, Cyril shouting, "I'll be back one day." But we knew he wouldn't. With the lock peaceful again, Nessie smiled. "Thank you, Tuffy," she said. "I couldn't have done it without you." And from that day on, the lock was safe once more, for Nessie and all her friends.